What up, though? This is Sir McCreed, World Orphan. Came to speak about this book right here. Great book. Here you go, young prince. It's a great book. Um, I would tell everybody to read it. Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. But I would also say that we need to read that book with a very open mind. You know what I'm saying, young prince? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. We need to read that book with a very open mind. I was reading in that book about the times of Narmer and Khufu and whatnot, and they was talking about, or Brother Chancellor Williams was talking about how the Asiatics was coming through, taking the black woman from Egypt and whatnot. Also during that book, Brother Chancellor Williams, you want to be on camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes you do. Brother Chancellor Williams was saying that the blacks were siding with the Asians. He was also stating that the Asians was able to get our women as concubine, and we wasn't able to get their women, the black man. And I believe that this may have been true during the Arab invasions or after the 25th dynasty, but according to my research through Check Auntie as well as, what's up, booger, as well as white authors, it didn't really go down like that. And the reality of it was, based on the history and written documentation, the white man, nah, stop it, and the Asians would be justified, and they not justified, but it explains why they might be what's the term I'm looking for, interested in castration and things of that nature. Because when we look at what Akhenaten and his father and Tutmosis will be sending the Syrians and other kings in Asia, they was asking for them to send 40 of your beautifulest women without a blemish. And these same Asiatic kings was begging for black wives to marry their sons and the young princes, and the Egyptians would never relinquish their women to Asian men. Another thing that a lot of people don't want to talk about is the pimp game that was going on in 1200 BC and whatnot. You had the Phoenicians straight up stealing European women and Asian women and selling them to Egyptian royalty. So from what I've read and what is documented, what's happening, booger? And from what is documented, that aspect of this book, as far as that happening in 3100 BCE, 2500 BCE, 1200 BCE, is false. You know, we was not relinquishing our women. You know, and as we even see with Ramesses, he married the Nubian woman. Straight up and down. Come on, man. He married the Nubian woman straight up and down, and that's what it was. Him marrying the Nubian woman and not giving up his sisters or the black woman to the Asiatic, you know. But Brother Chancellor Williams makes it seem like it's always been about the Asians taking our woman as concubine. Now what that showed me is how deep the slave conditioning was. He still believed that even in our greatness, the Asians had access to our women by giving or through force. What he don't realize or didn't realize from what it seems is that Egypt was the first empire, you know. The brothers from the south actually took over northern Egypt, which was not really habitable. They took it over when they felt like it. And like Check Auntie Diop said, Brother Ramesses was killing white people in the streets systematically. You know, it was just, they looked at that as like an omen. So why would you give your daughter over to somebody who you would consider white? So we gotta always read these books with the straight up mentality of taking in the author's consideration of how he was raised up. We also need to read these books with the straight up mentality that dudes got to produce primary sources. And sometimes Chancellor Williams didn't do that. He was basing his living experiences on the past. When in all actuality, in the past, yeah, we might have had similar social institutions, but they were actually in favor of black people. You know, the Egyptians was on straight up Egyptian supremacy. And that's what it is. Just like now, the English are on English supremacy and into spreading their beliefs. So that's all I'm gonna say on destruction of black civilization. It's a great book. I learned a lot from that book. Chancellor Williams is definitely an elder, but every man has made mistakes or made misinterpretations. Now, if I'm wrong, and there is delays out here that shows that Check Auntie Diop was wrong or whatnot, then so be it. But like I said, my cross references of Diop and even a lot of white authors, I'm not gonna sit here in front. I went to a university. They said the same thing. The Egyptians wasn't giving up their women to the Asiatics or the Europeans in times where the blacks was in control during the Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, or the New Kingdom, or even with the 25th dynasty where Taharka and Shabaka was ruling. So that's all I'm gonna say. Peace to everybody. Real off from McCreed. Enjoy this sun.